Most of what I have to say to that is just trusting that he's a professional and that his skills are going to catch up. I'm not going to give him any excuses. Of course, I don't think he wants any excuses from me. But the relationship that we've developed is really centered around just holding each other to that high standard and knowing that, we're capable of doing some special things night to night. But a lot of it is mental.
All right, man. Ben Simmons is slowly turning into the worst contract in the NBA, and it's starting to not even be close. Obviously, Russell Westbrook and John Wall, they've both shared that crown for the last few years, but with both of their contracts pretty much expiring, that's now Ben Simmons' title. The Nets owe this man 113 more millions, and with the game he has, he's nowhere near close to being worth that. Now, I've tried to be patient with Ben, and initially when this trade first happened, it was easy for me to even say the Nets won. James Harden seems to be on a rapid decline out of nowhere with Brooklyn. With the rule changes, the Kyrie fiasco, it looked bad. Brooklyn, they were one of the worst defensive teams in the league with James Harden. And Ben Simmons seemed to be the fresh, much-needed legs, at least defensively, to patch a lot of their problems. But Ben Simmons, as we all know, he never played 1 minute for Brooklyn, even after he got traded in February. He had the mental health problems that kept him away from basketball, the back injuries, and to be honest, I feel like James Harden himself, he saved and bought this man way more time. As irritating as Ben Simmons' reasonings for not playing at all last year, as irritating as that was, James Harden melting like he did in the playoffs last year, it bought this man more time because they made the trade seem fair. You got to remember, this was before James Harden signed his contract. So at the time, it looked like Brooklyn, they got stuck with this 6'10", freakishly talented dude with a major deficiency in his game. And Philly got stuck with this superstar way past his prime, and they had to pay him superstar crazy historic money because he had all the leverage. So again, the trade looked dead even. It didn't seem like it was much of a winner. But now it's no running. Philly actually got James Harden on a discount because he took less money, so they actually benefited from getting James Harden. They got a better player with less years for less money, and Ben Simmons came back and looked like he damn near regressed. And Ben Simmons' coach, Steve Nash, I'm just not a believer, man. He doesn't seem like a motivator, and he doesn't seem like he knows how to push the right buttons. He said something before the season even started that to me continues to further stunt this man's growth and stroke his terrible ego. He literally said, I don't care if Ben Simmons takes one shot or something crazy like that. As a coach, before you even played one game or coached one game with this man, you set the stage for this man to be on the exact same stuff that landed him in Brooklyn. I know you want to keep his spirit within the team and keep him happy and make him feel like his extremely limited skill set is necessary for y'all to win, but telling him what he wants to hear as opposed to what he needs to know, you're just stunning his growth as a player, and he's never going to develop like that. JJ Redick, I love his podcast, I love his analysis, I love his relationship with players and all that, but when Ben Simmons came on his podcast, he was just, to me, a yes man. He was telling him again what he wants to hear as opposed to what he needs to know.
Get off my case. I do other stuff too. I'm guarding the best players, and that's one thing I don't think people respect that enough. What I'm bringing to the court.
But your 3-point shot creation for others over a 3-season stretch was #1 in the league by far. You know what I mean? So yes, you weren't shooting threes, but you were getting guys like me. You were getting guys like me open looks.
Yeah, and that's. I think I've looked at the numbers too, and they're pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't want to toot my own horn, but
Brett Brown, the Philadelphia 76ers old coach, he was probably the best coach Ben Simmons has ever had in his entire life. Why? Because he actually pushed this man and urged this man to grow as a player. He threatened him. I will bench you if you don't develop your shot. He told this man, I want you to take at least 1 3-pointer a night. That's coaching. Push the right buttons. Steve, off the rip, made the exact same mistake Doc did, continuing to defend this man. And where the hell did it get Doc ultimately?
Ben Simmons can still be a point guard for a championship team like the one you guys want to become?
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now. So I don't know the answer to that.
Everybody knows how bad of a shooter Russell Westbrook is, but damn, at least he tries. Draymond has the ugliest shot in the NBA, but at least he keeps defenses honest because he tries. Ben doesn't even try. Ben does his signature every single play offensively. Get the ball, sprint to Kevin Durant or Kyrie, set a pick on their defender, and get out the way. He does that every single play. Right now, he's averaging almost 4 turnovers a game because he's so predictable in his approach. And he also gets stuck in this weird, I tried to run and sprint to KD or Kyrie, but they're being smothered, and I picked up my dribble, so now I'm stuck with the ball looking, waiting for somebody to bust open because I don't have any dribbles left. He does that like 5 times a game too. Right now, and this is kind of nitpicky, but Ben Simmons is averaging close to 60 passes a game. That's not bad at all. Like, that's moving the offense, that's keeping things within the flow. But if you look at the next category, which is passes received, everybody else is around the 60s, 70s, some in the 80s because they get the ball back. Ben is in the 40s. That's because in the half court, if he's not right by the rim, he's irrelevant. He doesn't do a thing right now. And you could take this with a grain of salt for whatever it's worth. Even with 1 less game played, Ben Simmons has the 3rd lowest plus minus in the league, and he's the lowest on his team. And he's even drugged Kevin Durant down with him because they share the court so much together. Ben Simmons is only averaging 5 points and basically 5 fouls, but I'm not going to hone in on the points. If you're missing shots, you're missing shots. It's the fact that he doesn't take any. He's only taking 4 shots a night. That's 7th on his team. This is why I said Steve Nash should have learned from Doc's mistake and not set the tone as his coach saying that yes man ass stuff. If you look at Ben's trajectory, it's going downhill. Every single year since he's been in this league, his field goal attempts have significantly and consistently gone down in the playoffs and the regular season. And right now it's like at an all-time low. And defensively, and I know it's early, it's way too early to even be giving this analysis, but this is just what we have so far. Defensively, that's what he was supposed to help with this team, right? Zion Williamson in the first game of the season, he ate this man for lunch. CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram also had big games. In the second game of the season, Pascal Siakam had 37 and damn near looked like a mini Kevin Durant on them. Last night against Memphis, he fouled out and Memphis's backcourt damn near scored 80. So I'm not even really seeing it defensively. The Brooklyn Nets last year, they were one of the worst defensive teams, 18th in defensive rating. This year with Ben Simmons, the life-changing defender, defensive player of the year candidate, all that. And I know it's extremely early, I get that. But right now they're dead last. So again, I'm just not seeing it that much. Never forget, the Brooklyn Nets didn't just trade James Harden for Ben Simmons straight up. Like, that wasn't the deal. You have to include the full package. They traded 4 players, which included Taurean Prince, Jared Allen, and Karis LeVert. 4 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps for Ben Simmons, a half season of Andre Drummond and Seth Curry. This man has to produce. They invested a significant amount of their future essentially for him. Right now, out of every player with a max contract with a good amount of years left on their deal, I feel the least confident about Ben Simmons's. Offensively, he doesn't participate unless he's setting a screen with the ball in his hands. I've never seen a player continuously sprint to his guy with the ball in his hand to set a screen. He does that every single play. And defensively, he overcompensates for his lack of offense by being hyper aggressive, racking up fouls, and then he's out the game. Like, that's not max contract worthy. I'll wrap it up with this because I really want to emphasize this point. Brooklyn, they don't want Ben Simmons to work out. They need Ben Simmons to work out. The tape is out. Everybody's seen how drama-filled he is off the court and how flawed he is on the court. So I don't think you can trade him, especially on that contract. You gave up a lot of your future to get this man. It was originally James Harden, but it turned into Ben Simmons. And if Kyrie does leave next year, which is a big possibility, Kevin Durant is coming back with that trade request, and it's no moving Ben. You're stuck with him. So like I said, that can be a mess. You need Ben Simmons to work out. If you guys like this video, turn on post notifications. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Follow my social media sites. Do that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.